Hey, it's Empire. GeoBoxing Empire. Back to boxing. Now, incredible news, man. Apparently, Bam Bam Rios is getting mega prepared for Danny Garcia, man. Now, I just seen a clip seconds after sparring. Brandon Rios, Josesito Lopez was interviewed on how Josesito Lopez would do. I'm sorry, how Brandon Rios would do against Danny Garcia. Now, if you guys didn't know, Josesito Lopez has sparred Danny Garcia when he fought Morales, and so he's fought Danny when he was close to his prime at lower weight classes. And we all know the infamous knockout with Danny's left hook that completely dismantled Morales. I guess Morales, it was wild because when Danny Garcia fought Morales, Morales actually tested positive for steroids, and Danny knocked him out, right? So the first time he knocked him out, I think they didn't do testing, but the second time they did, and they figured out he was on steroids, Danny took the fight anyway and still slept him. So Jose Lopez basically said that Brandon Rios and Danny Garcia have good qualities, and it's gonna be a tough fight. But this is a really good preparation for Brandon Rios because Jose Lopez is a phenomenal fighter. He's a quick fighter. He's a fighter who throws combinations, and I think this is a perfect fighter for Brandon Rios to prepare for Danny Garcia. Not only because of Josesito Lopez's speed, but because he's fought Danny Garcia and he can mimic his style somewhat. Now, some people were talking about how Josesito Lopez needs to counter Danny Garcia's punches. Well, he needs to do the same thing by throwing his looping shots. But the thing is, it's harder to dodge a combination than to dodge a hook, a left hook, right hook type thing, because that's what Danny's good at, right? His bread and butter is left hooks, and every now and then a left body shot. The thing is, it's easier to dodge a left hook, right hook, maybe a body shot, than a straight combination like Jose Lopez. Now, if you guys don't remember, Jose Lopez has done things that Brandon Rios or Danny Garcia has never done. He's fought in basically a middleweight in Canelo Alvarez. He's fought in at 154 and higher. When Jose Lopez fought Canelo Alvarez, that fight was at 155, and Jose Lopez, that was after Jose Lopez broke Victor Ortiz's jaw. You know, and if you guys watched the Jose Lopez versus Canelo fight, Jose Lopez actually had moments in that fight where he was backing Canelo up on the ropes. Now Jose Lopez did lose the fight, but he wasn't knocked out or anything. He just realized that Canelo was bigger, and he basically no masked, after getting dropped a lot of times. But I don't think he was ever hurt in the fight. I think he just realized he was fighting a much bigger fighter in Canelo Alvarez. So Jose Lopez is a great fighter, man. I think he's done things that Brandon Rios and Garcia hasn't done yet. And this isn't. I mean, Jose Lopez isn't the kind of fighter he's not a tune-up fighter. He's not a training type sparring partner fighter. He's kind of fighter who gets you ready for the real thing. Because I think in many ways there's some things that Jose Lopez does that's better than Danny Garcia. So man, Brandon Rios is training incredibly hard for this fight, man. He's bringing in guys who have better qualities than Danny Garcia and who can move better than Danny Garcia and throws better combinations than Danny Garcia. So I think that Brandon Rios is going to be ready for a speed guy who has phenomenal foot movement, and Danny Garcia, he's standing still, throwing looping shots. So I think Brandon Rios' defense can be on a higher level, upper echelon, because he's sparring guys who are much quicker than Danny and who move better than Danny. So I'm really excited to see Brandon Rios sparring elite, fast opponents, to get him prepped for Danny Garcia. People are they're counting Bam Bam out, man, but that's a mistake, man. Bam Bam Rios, man, he has a chin. He's tough, granite tough, and the only thing separating Brandon Rios for like elite fighters is basic stuff like foot movement, head movement, things like that. Tighten up his defense a little bit, not get hit so much. He's a monster, man, because you're not knocking out Rios, man. You're really not knocking him out unless Rios lets you. You know what I mean? Because Rios likes to stand and bang too much a little bit sometimes, But he gets used to, like I said, he's getting used to Jose Lopez, a guy with phenomenal speed and phenomenal footwork. He's going to get used to fighting a person who can move and throw combinations. Therefore, he's going to have better defense automatically, unless he's just sitting there, just getting hit, not moving at all. which I completely doubt. So I'm really excited for Brandon Rios, man. He's sparring elite level competition. Let you mind he's getting trained with Robert Garcia, which is Mikey Garcia's what cousin or something like that. So Mikey Garcia definitely is giving Brandon Rios some pointers as well. Believe that because Robert Garcia, I mean that they're related. So Mikey Garcia is still fighting. So he's definitely gonna give Brandon Rios some pointers. You know, that's just the name of the game. If you're training in someone's gym and you got a group of elite fighters in there, they're definitely gonna be helping you out on things you need to be helped out on. So this is gonna be a really good fight, man. I'm really excited to see what happens next. Now, you know, Robert Garcia is an infamous trainer. He trained people like Marcus Maidana. So if he wanted to get you, if he wanted to make you get power, he can let you get power. Now, I've seen Maidana get phenomenally better training under Robert Garcia. You know, the first fight, Mayweather proved it. You know, he made Maidana basically a volume puncher. He made him throw so many punches, it was ridiculous. So, and it was with power too. So I mean, Robert Garcia is a great trainer. He trained a lot of phenomenal fighters who he destroyed undefeated fighters. You know, I remember Marcus Maidana fight Adrian Broner. You know, he made Marcus Maidana a whole nother. He changed completely Marcus Maidana's whole style. You know, he basically made him throw so many kind of punches, and I never seen Marcus Maidana so aggressive to the point where he's throwing like 100 punches around. You know, and he basically did the same thing as Floyd Mayweather to make Floyd Mayweather have a rematch, which he barely has in his whole career. So Robert Garcia is a great trainer, man. He's trained fighters that are elite fighters, and he made them basically almost legendary. You know what I mean? Beating Broner when he was undefeated, that's a fight people will never forget. You know, that's like Hall of Fame type thing. Because the thing is, Broner was undefeated, skipping weight classes, destroying everyone at the time. And Robert Garcia can, if you have the dedication, he can push you to that level. And I think Brandon Rios has that dedication. You know, now Brandon Rios is a big guy too. You know, he's not a small guy walking in fighting bigger guys. Everyone knows Brandon Rios is really a big guy. You know, he's a really strong, big welterweight. So, you know, I think over the years, Brandon Rios has grown into the welterweight division. You know what I mean? I think when he first went up to fight like a Tim Bradley, he was too small for the division. But, you know, or Manny Pacquiao. But it's been years, so I think he's a full-fledged welterweight now. So he's going to take the punches better. He's going to get used to. He's already used to the weight now. He's sparring elite level welterweights, and he's fighting guys whose skill matches or surpasses Danny Garcia, in my opinion. You know. Now we're going to see what happens in this fight. It's going to be a bar burner, man. I haven't seen too much from Danny Garcia. I don't know who he's training with yet, but it's going to be definitely a good fight because, you know, ever since the unification fight with Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia sort of went ghost. You know. So we'll see, man. I mean, the toughest questions in boxing are always when a fighter loses that how do they come back? You know what I mean? That's really big questions in boxing. Usually people don't like betting on fighters who just took a loss and lost their L for the first time because some people say they'll never see him again. We'll see what happens with Danny Garcia. You know, he's not. I'm not sure if he's that kind of guy. Only time will tell. But it will definitely answer a lot of questions because Brandon Rios will definitely mentally test you. You know, I'm not sure if Danny should have took this fight. You know, a lot of people saying it's a cherry pick, but Brandon Rios will walk you down and mentally break you down. You can be hitting him and he won't go anywhere. So this can be a really good test for Danny Garcia. You know, in my opinion, I think Brandon Rios is a stronger fighter, a bigger fighter than Danny Garcia. I think Danny Garcia is a great fighter. I think he's small for the 147 in general. You know, I think that's why he probably lost that fight. I think if he was a full-fledged welterweight like Keith Thurman, he would have had a much better chance of winning that fight. But like I said, he's fighting a bigger, stronger Brandon Rios, who's been fighting at welterweight for a long time. So we'll see. We'll see how Danny does against it, man. It's definitely going to mentally challenge him, push Danny to the limit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Danny's from Philly, though. You know, he's from that tough Philly background. So we'll see how, you know, the mean streets of Philly. We'll see how that works out, man. Because, you know, a lot of Philly fighters been taking L's last year. You know what I mean? J-Rock took an L. You know what I mean? Danny took an L, of course. He's from Philly. You know, a lot of league level fighters from Philly took some L's, you know. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. Let me know how you guys feel about it. Like, comment, subscribe. This is the Empire. GeoBoxing Empire.